Jeremy Newman, Vice President at the Family Freedom Project. Madam Chair, members, thanks for having me here. We're strongly in favor of House Bill 2216, and I want to focus primarily on two aspects of the bill. The first one being the evidentiary standard. And I want to set a little bit of context here because a lot of people have not really thought through this dichotomy before, but today, under current law, if you have a parent and their neighbor, and they're both accused of the same conduct against the same child, who is the child of the parent, the parent will have certain standards of protections they have in their civil case, and the non-parent neighbor will have a litany of additional protections and higher standards in their criminal case that the parent never gets. But it's the parent who loses the child at the end of that case. And here's another example for you. At the adversary hearing in a CPS case, the standard of evidence to remove a child currently is so low, it's below 50% of the evidence. That means if most of the evidence weighs in favor of the parent, you can still take the child. So if most of the people in the case agree that the parent is most likely innocent, you can still take the child under current law today. And what this bill does is it raises those evidentiary standards to create at least a little bit of parity between the criminal situation and the civil situation, especially considering that it's in the civil situation here where the greater penalty is being levied, where you're losing your child. The second thing I want to touch on is the reform that it makes to the grounds for termination of parental rights. And there's kind of a catch-all here that it's incorporating into the grounds for termination. And the effect of that is to tighten multiple grounds where right now you can terminate parental rights if there is not a nexus of harm between whatever the parent's conduct was and the actual harm or threat of harm to the child. Under some grounds, you don't even need a harm or threat of harm to the child in order to terminate. And that's one of the things that this bill would resolve. So we're strongly in favor of it because we believe that it creates a little bit of parity for the situation between the civil and criminal side of this, and it ensures that we're only terminating parental rights when there is actually a harm or threat of harm to the child.